Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. And today I have a guest with a very familiar name and a regular name, but he's doing amazing things. Hello there, Will Smith.
Hi, Lisa. How you doing?
Pretty good.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on your channel.
No problem. Thank you for accepting the invite and taking the time out. So before you tell us what you do, can you show us?
Okay, no problem.
All right, so let's take a look at this clip, guys.
Standing straight up with it.
Great takedown. He's got that kind of Josh Koscheck looking last double.
Yeah, just like kind of throw a punch and just bully you, run you over.
Multi winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, Will Smith.
So, wow, Will, how did you get into this? Tell us about it. What type of fighting is this? And how did you get into this?
Well, it's MMA, mixed martial arts. I've always been somewhat of a rough, rowdy person. Not that I was a bully or anything like that, but me and my friends will always be wrestling, always outdoors, rough housing, always getting in trouble and yelled at for banging and slamming things around the house. But I'm always been naturally competitive in that way. Team sports, they're fun, but individual sports, I just feel like it's hits home closer to me. And how I got into MMA, it's a long time. I started wrestling in high school back in 2006. I did that for 2 years, graduated, went to college, was looking for something extra in my life. You know, college was definitely a priority at the time. However, I just missed the wrestling and I wanted to get back into it. On campus, while I was there, somebody put up a promotion for a club. And all the time people are trying to get members and get people to sign up. So while I was on campus, I seen this and I signed up and I wanted to join. The person who put it together scheduled a training event. It was at another facility, another high school, and I was so excited. You know, I saw all these names on the list, and I thought I was finally going to wrestle. And I went to the high school, and none of the college students showed up.
So there was no one for you to be paired with?
No, I worked with the younger students that
Okay.
were actually attending the high school, but it was an opportunity for us to train with other people who also were training.
All
And
right.
so, I work with them. I was a little bit more advanced. They're younger, but it was still fun. But I just stopped after that. I was kind of down. I wasn't gonna go on with the gym just because, or the club, because no one was really interested, and it killed the vibe for me. I eventually was talking to one of my friends, and he introduced a different martial arts known as jiu-jitsu. When I went ahead and did it, and I thought like that sounds silly, you know, the jiu-jitsu. What is that? It sounds like a magic trick or something, not exciting at all. So I went and I tried it, and I fell in love with it. It's like wrestling, but it continues. So wrestling is kind of like you take them down, you pin them, and you win. And jiu-jitsu is you get your opponent in a lock, an arm lock, a choke, or a leg lock, and you force them to submit or give up. So it allows me to do what I like to do even longer. So I fell in love with that. And so for like the last 2 years of college, I was doing that, left college, went into the job market.
What did you major in college?
Mhm.
And like the pro fighting, what are some accomplishments that you've had there?
So I graduated with my degree in business. So I actually didn't really start using my business side until I started competing professionally. So if I started competing in 2013, 2014, it wasn't until like maybe 3, 4, 5 years after that when I actually start using my business skills, my business degree. I've taught classes, I've sold merch, I've negotiated contracts. So that was definitely a long process, and and it's a learning process. You know, I tell people that MMA is a war. It's not your regular business. You can't go to school for this type of business, you know. And you will hear this in the fight business in general, that people will, you know, maybe undercut you, or maybe there'll be different things in the contract. So even though I had a traditional business background, it's definitely a different business when you get into the sport.
Okay. So you went to school for business, but then those first few years out of college, you were just focused on building up your fighting career and getting some fights under your belt. Is that how you
Absolutely.
put it? Okay.
Yeah, I started out as an amateur, taking amateur bouts. And when you're amateur, there's no money involved. Only thing you're getting is a commission on your ticket sales. So um, that just was my first step in the door for the first few years. But then after that, when you start getting paid for fights, that's when the business side comes in.
Okay. So you said to me behind the scenes, you have a blend. You have the W-2 corporate type of a job,
Yes,
and you're still fighting.
yes.
So how
It's,
does that work? Like, what is leading to the structure that you have with the W-2 job? And does it blend well? Are you able to, commit to your fighting the way that you want?
Yeah, everybody's path is different. I feel like this path works best for me. I tell everybody that my W-2 job funds my passion job, if you
Okay.
will.
All right.
So yes, we will all prefer to live as as an artist and live off your craft, but unfortunately, um, there's there's that net of security is not there. You know, there was situations where I've been injured and I had to work. And it's very beneficial when you have a job and you have medical benefits that can help you
Yes.
during that process. For instance, having a job and needing two surgeries.
Mm.
I'm so blessed to have that opportunity. If you're a fighter and you're doing it on your own, then it's those surgeries or those operations, those doctor visits are all coming out of your own pocket. So yes, I definitely highly recommend that fighters have a second gig. It's if you can go all in, do it to the best of your ability. But the reality is, a lot of fighters in the top UFC, Bellator, they still have their W-2 jobs. They're firefighters, they're police officers, they have corporate jobs. I'm like, have different options, different streams of income to protect yourself at the end of the day.
Yes, multiple streams of income. That topic comes up often.
Oh yeah.
It's always best, especially, this inflation that's killing us all. Um, so let's talk. My channel is about finance,
Mhm.
investing, budgeting. So how do you feel? What types of things like that do you want to share? Do you feel that your financial goals are being met? That must be something that also comes a little easier with having the day job, that you
Absolutely.
have a 401k or
Yep.
a plan that have a company match and are supplementing in some way.
Right. No, I have all those benefits through my employer, which are great medical, great investment opportunities. My employer enrolls me in Vanguard and VOO. I also do have my own investments, and good thing I do have my employer for that portion is because uh, even my investments in stocks and stuff, I'm kind of a risk taker, and I'm learning the game very. I've learned the hard way. Every way that you can learn as far as investing, I've learned the hard way. This is who I am. I always had like a go big or go home mentality. So
Okay.
for the long time, for many years, I was losing. I was diamond handing the wrong stocks. I was involved in the wrong things, and I lost a lot. But this year, I have only growth. So now I'm playing to win, and because shows like yours and shows like Keenan's, and I'm becoming more financially literate in as far as investment opportunities. But yeah, like I said, the job, I'm so blessed to have this job. Um, it's provided so many opportunities, and it allows me to do what I love to do. So definitely, like we said, creating multiple streams of income so that you never lose.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about this, being a risk taker, which more so men usually are when it comes to investing. So you talked about diamond handing, things that you should not have, and holding on too long. What have you done to change that? Or did you just completely change your portfolio and start to invest into more stable blue chip index funds, or what did you do? Because I think I was kind of the same way in the beginning, where I was, chasing penny stocks and investing into some speculative things a little too heavily, when I could have, like you said, VOO or, my Apple stock. Those should have been higher percentages. So what have you done to correct the things that you mentioned about diamond handing, making better choices?
So I was letting my portfolio was falling bad. I mean,
can you name one particular stock that was like dragging you down, that was too high in retrospect, high a percentage of your portfolio?
You know what? I didn't even really know. It was like talking to people at the gym, and it was like, hey, you should definitely involve getting this stock. This injury is doing this. And I was like, okay, yeah, you seem like you know what you're talking about. I'm just going to throw as much money as I can into it. So I can't even remember some of the bad stocks I was in. It was going down so bad. I just eventually just pulled everything out and reinvested it into the ones that are winning. So things like that were winning and that have been winning for me have been like Apple, Meta, Pepsi, just to name a few. And I just had to learn the hard way. I can't really say that before I knew exactly what I was doing. If I was listening to a podcast or a video on YouTube, threw as much money into it, and then I just kicked my feet up, and I came back
So you were just kicking your feet up without a plan of, I'm getting out of this if it drops 5%, 10%. Did you have any limitations? When am I getting in and when am I getting out? Or is it something I'm holding long term? But if you're holding it long term, like you said, that's what diamond handing is. You're going to let it go down how far?
Right. I had no plans. I had no plan at all. Things were going down like 30, 40%. And I was just like, okay, this is what they talk about, making money on the way down. I'm just going to keep on throwing money into it. And no, it felt longer. It felt further and further and further. And so I just eventually just pulled everything out, stopped for a while, went back to the drawing board and just did some more research on what I needed to do. And since then, this year, I've only had increase, only had positivity. My portfolio is up 10% on the year. So I'm playing small, but I'm winning. I'm not losing anything anymore.
All right, great. And that making money on the way down, that's something you could do with put options. But if it's a stock that's not going to go down and come back up, there's no way of making money if it goes down. Unless it's something that, like, I have a couple of things in my portfolio, like my Target and my Disney, that are down. But I have hopes for the future that they will come back. But there's certain things that don't come back,
Right. Experimenting with crypto and stuff. Yeah, that's understandable. Target and Disney, they've been around our entire lives. I can't remember a time in my life where I didn't know what that was. My mistake was, this is brand new. I'm gonna catch the wave early and I'm gonna get rich. And no, it didn't happen. So I can't name those ones that you're requesting to know about, because I had no idea what I was getting into even before I invested in.
Okay. So now, do you still get into, IPO or penny stock? Do you still dabble in those areas?
Not the penny stocks as much. IPO, no. I'm just going out with the organizations that I know. Like I said before, Meta.
Everything you mentioned, we definitely know. The Apple, the Pepsi,
The simple things, I just stick to what I know. The most simple things I can see. that I know are going to be around. Am I still using their products? Am I still using their service? I use Amazon every day. Like, why would I go anywhere else? I had to keep it really, really, really simple for myself. And because I've been doing that, I've been seeing progress and progression. So that's what I'm going to keep on doing. Slow money is better than no money. So that's the route I'm going to go.
You mentioned negotiating. That's something that your business background has helped you with. Have you only done negotiations like on your own behalf, or have you been in a position where you've ever helped other fighters?
Absolutely. And that's kind of where I want to go as far as a new business venture, is creating programs and systems in which a young fighter can kind of get into the business on their own. I can actually show the receipts and the contracts that I signed before reading everything into them. I had managers, I've had people who I thought had my best interest in mind, who took advantage of the opportunity, and lessons were learned. And I'm grateful to go through those events so I can actually share that with other fighters. But yes, like you're saying, other fighters be like, hey, I got this contract. Well, what do you think about it? Like, well, you may want to consider this, or you pass on that. You don't want that unless they give you X. Don't even go through with that one. That's not a good deal. So yeah, I've been there. I've been not paid. I've been denied medical services. Anything that's happened in the fight game, I've experienced it on the bad end. So I want to definitely help prepare next generation, or fighters that are currently fighting, know about negotiation, know about pay, know about how to schedule a fight, and how to just negotiate in general.
You're using your education. It's a great blend where you're able to use some of those insights and your own hand-on experience in order to benefit yourself, and potentially you're saying this could be a business for you in the future to assist and manage other fighters.
Absolutely. I definitely want it to be a business, but it's more intrinsic. The reward I'm going to help, the reward I'm going to gain by helping somebody in need. So yeah, I think why I'm going to win in this, because I'm not doing this for $1. I'm doing this out of love of the sport and the protection of the fighters itself. I have, all my friends are in the same boat that I've been in, and I'm just happy that I can, throw them a life raft before they get out there and start, experiencing the downside of martial arts.
Everybody at home watching, if you're not already subscribed, please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a comment, let us know what you think about this conversation. So Will, are there any do you have a YouTube channel? Are there any YouTube channels that we could go to see more of your fighting and to keep up with events that you might be a part of?
Yes, there's definitely YouTube channels that have fights. Cage Titans was a organization I performed for most recently. I fought for them twice this year. So there's two most recent fights are there. You can Google search Warrior Nation. I competed for that organization. Bellator is one of the top mixed martial arts organizations in the world. It's number 2, if not number 3. And you can definitely watch 2 of my fights on their channel.
In the description of this video, we'll tag a few places so you can check out some of Will's fights and be up on upcoming event.
Absolutely.
Sound good?
Yep. Okay. That's right.
So your fighting name, is that what I should call it?
You can call it fight name, nickname.
Your fight name
identity,
is
secret identity.
Will Sriracha Smith.
Yes, that's right.
Why Sriracha?
Sriracha is the best hot sauce out there. I've tried them all, and nothing comes close. I've been eating Sriracha hot sauce for the longest time, and people say that I have a weird obsession with it, so much that they just kind of nicknamed me Sriracha. When they were asking me for my first name for my first professional bout, my manager at the time was talking to me. He's like, "Hey, Will, they're asking you for a nickname." I was like, "Okay, I don't really got one." And actually, as he was asking me, I took out my bottle of Sriracha and sprayed it all over my salad. And he's like, "That's it." I'm like, "That's what? Sriracha?" Yeah. I was like, "Yeah, that's Sriracha." He's like, "No, the name, Sriracha." And that's how we stuck with it.
All right.
Like
So
I
it's
said, I had a session. People would just comment on how much hot sauce I put on my food. I'll go to restaurants. Anybody that's eating with me, when I have hot sauce, I drench my food in it, and like I break into a sweat, and
and you love it.
I love it. I
Even
love
though
it.
it's burning you to death, you just
Oh
love it.
man, I think I'm obsessed with it. But it's tough right now because the actual factory, the manufacturer or the
It's having a
developer of,
shortage.
yeah, they had a shortage. They're back in business, but it's been really, really hard to get a bottle. The bottles have been going for over $100 on Amazon, just
Oh,
because how scarce it's become. So
okay.
yeah, unfortunately, huh?
I was gonna say if I come across any, I could ship it to you, but I don't know about that price.
I've been looking. I've been looking. If you can find it, please let me know.
Okay, I will. You are a younger person. What
Okay.
is your feelings about retirement? What age
Retired.
what age do you envision yourself retiring? Do you have goals around it? Um, and do you think you're in line with those goals? I think you have a handle, like you're saying, your own personal investing.
Yeah,
It's telling me that you know what type of rate of return that you want.
exactly.
You have some goals, you have some perspective on how to build a portfolio and those type of things. How do you
Mhm.
feel that you are doing with your retirement savings?
Um, I feel like I'm doing well. I'm doing well for my age. I'm doing well for myself, but I do feel like I can do better.
Mhm.
Retirement from my W-2 job, it's a great job. I don't see myself retiring soon, but by diversifying my streams of income, I feel that that's something that can speed up the process. However, I'm in the position where I truly enjoy what I do, and I have a great opportunities within the industry. Um, as far as martial arts, I feel once you're a fighter, always a fighter, but it's always important to have a game plan. Um, I want to go out on E. I don't want to have nothing left in the tank when I say that I'm done with getting in the cage. I feel like I do a very good job as far as maintaining my health, my diet, my body, um, working out, exercising, taking the proper message of recovery. So I feel like I can last, and I have a lot of time to stay in the sport. But like you said, at what cost? I definitely want to make decisions where it's a financially intelligent thing to do to leave it. But yeah, I want to leave on my own terms. But as far as kicking up my feet and spending my time on the beach with a umbrella drink, I know I'm not. I know I got some time. I definitely dabbling in different things. I've told you what I was dabbling in within martial arts. I plan to start dabbling more in real estate as well. So I have a
Okay.
few things that are working right now, searching for homes. Uh, but yeah, I have a few things, a few ideas that are all uh, um, in the works.
So you already touched on, diamond handing some things that you
Yeah,
should not.
right.
What would you say, if it's not that, what would you say has been like one of your worst financial decisions?
In terms of like income and return, martial arts in itself has been in the beginning stages at least. Uh, I can say that I've put a lot of money into it, and to most people, if I show them how much I invested into it, most probably people would say that martial arts would probably be my worst investment. Just because of the amount of times that I didn't get what I could have gotten. Yeah.
So what were you having to invest? Were you missing work? Were you traveling?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Work,
Okay.
work opportunities. Work opportunities to work. I was turning down because they were too far from my gym.
Okay.
Also, like just my putting so much work into martial arts itself that I took positions that I could easily work and chase my dream. You know, if I eliminated martial arts, I could be in a way better financial standing just because of the money I was spending. There's been times in martial arts where I was training for years and not getting any competition. Um, that's a whole nother story, whether that be being blackballed or just not being selected for a particular competition. Uh, but yeah, there's been times where I spent money and didn't see any returns for some years. So yes, martial arts is definitely something you have to do because you love it. Love is involved. Um, but I was just recently told this by a friend. You're always going to lose, Will, if you're emotionally invested. And I kind of needed martial arts. Martial arts, as much money as I spent on it, it's definitely kept me out of trouble. It's definitely kept me focused. It's definitely made my health a priority. So I tell people that martial arts is not only um, getting in the cage and hurting somebody. I actually don't like to hurt people. It's just fighting itself is very therapeutic. It puts me in a position where I'm faced with an obstacle, and the objective is can I make it to the other side? Can I complete this task? And in doing so, it kind of makes the whole world around me silent, and it helps put things into perspective. You may be um, stressed about your job, maybe stressed about this bill, you may be stressed about a relationship, but when you're in the cage and you compare your life to fighting another man who's been training 6 to 8 weeks to do some bad things, you start to think like this is not bad. I can handle it. If I can handle getting in that cage and getting out and go about my normal days, there's nothing that can hold me back. And that's what I use martial arts for, the opportunity for competition. So yes, I could say that martial arts has been my biggest financial burden. Uh, but besides that, school, I guess. Everybody's in the same boat when it comes to student loans. They're about to kick
Okay.
in a few months. Uh, there was there was times where uh, I worked several jobs that were in my particular area of expertise. I did go to school for business, and my concentration was human resources. I never got a job under that title of human resources.
Okay.
So, um, however, I have gotten several jobs in the area of research. So I feel that does relate, but as far as return, school has definitely opened doors. It's just about perspective, really. So as much as I could say school has cost me, martial arts has cost me, it has created opportunities for me to meet people, created opportunities for me to make money. So I tried my best not to live in regret. I take everything as lessons. So yeah, to look at those things and say, yeah, that's what I paid the most money into, is at the same time the things that have given me the greatest return.
Well, is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
I think we did a great interview. Thank you so much for having me in your channel. If anybody's interested in following me and what I do in martial arts, my name on these platforms is Sriracha MMA. That's 2 words on Facebook. It's 1 word everywhere else. And if you want to get in touch with me, send me a DM and I'll contact you and share more.
All right. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and like and leave us a comment. All right. Thanks so much, Will. Good night.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Appreciate you.